Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anastasia, and today I'd like to talk to you about various psychological issues and the reasons why they happen. So let's start with the phrase that you like something or somebody, but the very next second you despise this or that, and you think, oh my gosh, I like this, yeah. I have bought this perfume and I'm absolutely happy about that, but the very next second you think, oh my god, I have worked a lot, why did I waste all this money on such a perfume if I could afford another thing. But why do those syndromes happen, and what's the purpose of them? Because you constantly blame yourself, and maybe your surroundings also try to do that, or maybe because the problem is deeper and not just in blaming, but for example, the first reason is that you don't have what you want immediately, and you tend to wait for something, and you think, oh my god, that's really strange, how could I afford that with my own money, and that was for the first time. So maybe that's just a psychological reaction for that. Another reason is that you are unhappy about anything because you've got some irritants in your life, some disgusting people, and you just can't entirely destroy this object or subject of your hatred. And it's a really complicated situation because you can't help it. You start hating yourself. You try to talk to people, but they don't understand you. Maybe they think there's something wrong inside of you. But it's really not. Yeah, you can't sustain because you feel that something unfair happened to you. You feel the ingratitude from, for example, from the person who is currently the object of your hatred, or maybe from the situation. It really can happen from many different ways. And today I'm going to try to find the best solution for those problems, because I have to face them myself as well. And here my method number one how to cope with it is self-examination, or self-reflection. It may be called, like, synonyms, self-awareness, and so on. So this method is a really good one, and self-analysis is actually the best thing I've ever discovered in my life. Why? Because when you dig inside yourself and you look, what's the problem inside of me? Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but why do I feel depressed like that? What made me be so sad, so angry, and how can I change it? Or maybe should I change my people? Maybe should I change the circumstances? And yes, that's a true analysis, because what is fabulous all about here, the thing is that you attract to yourself what you consist of. So it may sound really strange even for me, but your enemies reflect your personality. You can be absolutely similar, maybe not in appearance, but maybe in your characters, in your approach to another person. So that's why you have got conflicts with this person on a permanent basis. And if it's impossible, as I told you, of course that's impossible to physically destroy this person. I mean, like, to get rid of them, to make him go to another world. That's crazy. You shouldn't do that, because you have to have your dignity and your own life. And so you can destroy this person physically, deleting him from your, for example, from your social networks, from your life, like maybe he travels one day, or you go to another country, to another city. Maybe you live not on the same street, and that's good for you, and for him or her as well. But yes, this is the first solution. But if it doesn't help, and if it looks like this object of hatred continues chasing you, so how can you help yourself? Because it's impossible to get rid of him, and how so? But actually, imagine inside of yourself that you are a mirror, and your enemies will just reflect on you. They wouldn't be able to dissolve you, because you are a mirror, and they would be just shadows there, and they would radiate, but they wouldn't be able to approach your soul, because you are a mirror. That's a really good example. Another one. And yes, why should you use this conception? Because once you start feeling better inside of yourself, once you start realizing that this object of hatred is not important anymore, that you shouldn't waste your time on him or her or whatever, that you should concentrate on your own business, and this soul, I would say that this soul practice would be really useful. Also, yes, my relatives used to tell me that, for example, you may imagine that it's the night, and you're sitting on the shore, and there's a river, and you can see how your enemies flow away there. This is another example. And what else? I collected some of my thoughts in order not to forget to tell them here. So, about self-analysis, I told about how to get rid of the person if you can't get rid of him physically. If he chases you, if he continues doing that and you hate that, don't approach him. Just work with your soul, dig inside yourself, and learn how to control yourself, by the way, because self-control is also really important here. The example here, if you show your hatred to this person, he will understand that he hurt you, and this is what nobody needs here. We should work on this issue, and even if we feel that we can't help it anymore, we aren't happy, we should make this person suffer. The best thing here is not to show him your anger, not to show him your weakness. You should demonstrate your own power and your strong soul, and that you can struggle and whatever. And the best method here is the ignore. You should just ignore, and that would completely destroy that object of hatred. So the paradox here is that, for example, maybe if you have had good memories with this enemy, with your current enemy, you may look to the past, but only to positive memories. And our brains are constructed in the way that we tend to remember good things from the past. So we don't concentrate, we don't concern too much on something bad that happened in our past, because if we really did so, our brain would die, and we would die as well physically. And so human psychology is the most fabulous thing in this world, because we don't remember what used to hurt us too much in the past. That's why there's a proverb that time goes by and time cures, but it doesn't really cure, it just makes you forget about the harm that you took from some person, and that's good. Okay, I've talked about the injustice and ingratitude that you may have received from that person. Like, you helped him a lot, but after that, what he gave you, just absolutely nothing. And also he made you feel really bad, and he told everybody around that you are the worst person ever. And this is like the shock, like how could it be that interesting reaction, that I expected something another, because I used to do only good things to this person. So here your brain should be bigger, and yeah, if this injustice happened, it's not worth your depression. It's not worth your bad mood. Don't concentrate on that. Find something that may help you to get distracted. Like, for example, like I did, buy something luxurious for yourself, even if you would regret after that, your brain would be happy anyway. And also have a good time, hang out with your friends, work, find any motivation in any movement from the time when you woke up in the morning. And also communicate with people, as I told. And another interesting fact that I noticed is that women can give you a very positive feedback, because you are also a woman. Like, I'm a woman, and I get a positive reaction from women. Why? It's because our genders differ, and the amount of emotions, the set of energy we radiate and perceive is different from the one that is perceived from the man. Anyway, men can also be good speakers and listeners, but only if they are close to you, if you trust them, if they trust you, and if they love you, and if you love them too. So those are basic situations why depression happens. Of course, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a top specialist, but I'm an ordinary person who had an experience of psychological stress and of this undervalued depression, when I couldn't sustain myself and I wanted somebody to talk about this problem, but it didn't help me, even if they told me very wise solutions, and I understood that it's true. Anyway, I couldn't accept the situation inside of myself before I digged into my soul, and before I was able to find out what's wrong with me, or maybe what's right with me. How do I feel when I'm in the society of this person, and how do I feel without him? And so here you should only analyze. You should pacify yourself. You shouldn't let your anger treat you more than your brain does, because we are humans, we are not animals. So we have to think with our brains, and we shouldn't let our negative emotions be stronger than we are. So I hope that this introduction, was useful to listen to, and I'm going to make myself more clear in other videos. And if you revealed the same syndromes in your life as I told you, you should just think about yourself and control yourself, control your emotions, and Don't expose yourself. Let yourself be on the top. And if you want to be on the top, and I talk not about the physical top here, but also on your soul top, the best version of yourself, change your attitude. Don't think about your enemies. Don't give your time to something that you hate, because it isn't worth it. And respect yourself. Try to not to waste this time, but try to spend it wisely and positively, because we have got only one life, and we have got only one ourselves. I'm only one for myself. Nobody can be like me, so I should think only about myself, and my inner problems would be solved only if I cure myself. Nobody else will be able to do that. So think about that, and see you later.